radar in standby, right? As part of your fly every leg really well, or fly every landing really well, however it was taught to you guys. This is what you'll do. You'll come into here into weather radar settings and click radar on. Then it goes into standby mode by default, okay? Now, the weather radar that's in this airplane is different from the one in the 1000. Okay, the one in the 1000 was like an old school magnetron-based radar. This is a solid-state radar, so it uses almost no power. The one in the 1000 used like 1400 watts. This one uses 35. Okay, it doesn't use much, but it works very well. The nice thing too is it doesn't have to warm up. So as soon as you put it in standby, it's ready to go. There's not that minute warm-up time, you know, that the 1000 did.
It's going to be available if I have a generator failure, just one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's going to be available.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it goes off of DC bus. It's either 1 or 2. I'll have to look it up, see what it says. But because it doesn't draw nearly as much power as it did in the 100 or in the 1000. It has all the same features as the 1000 did. So it's it's got the weather watch where it's looking further than you have it zoomed in to look for convective activity beyond it. You can do a small sector scan like that, 20, 40, 60 degrees. You can do a vertical scan and aim it at a certain bearing. It has altitude compensated tilt in the bottom right hand corner. So as you climb or descend, it keeps the dish aimed at the weather. So you know, if you're flying along and you've got the dish aimed straight forward and you start to descend, it aims the dish up to compensate for it.
So it changes the tilt automatically?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
If I want to override it? No.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
How? Well, the normal mode is going to be what? To get the tilt automatically.
So all it's going to do is adjust it for altitude. So it won't, it won't change it enough that you'll notice it. Let me put it that way. You know. So like when you have the tilt set to 0 and it's aimed straight at the horizon, right? It's going to stay aimed straight at the horizon. So you pitch the airplane up, pitch the airplane down, it's going to stay aimed at the horizon. Okay. So your tilt still works the exact same way. So if you go 2 degrees down, it's going to aim 2 degrees down. It's just going to adjust as you climb and descend, basically.
If I'm going to take off and I get the tilt in 10 degrees off, it's going to stay that way until I change it?
Right. Yep. It'll hold whatever you have until you change it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, just like the 1000, to adjust the radar, press the joystick in, and you'll see that pops up on the bottom of the MFD page, right? And now it says tilt down, tilt up, bearing left, bearing right. And then you can adjust it up or down, left or right, however you want. And then, of course, zoom in or zoom out. So that's how you adjust it.
Okay.
Okay. It won't work. You can click OK, but it'll just stay in standby mode. Now, the 3000 also has a couple of features. They're optional, so it depends on whether your company has paid for them or not. It has turbulence detection and ground clutter suppression. So the ground clutter suppression, if you aim the weather radar down at the ground, it should cut out the ground and only show you the weather. Okay. Now, the PowerPoint makes it look like it's perfect, and it's not, but it does a pretty good job of cutting out the ground clutter and just showing you weather if you aim at the mountains or wherever. Okay?
How is called that subscription?
Ground clutter suppression.
Suppression.
It's also got another option, which is turbulence detection. And so if you have the turbulence detection, it looks for turbulence, but it's only inside precipitation. So it does not look for clear air turbulence. Okay. But if there is precipitation out there, it can detect it within 40 miles and say, hey, there's turbulence. It doesn't say how bad it is, it just says there's turbulence.
Where is it going to be displayed? In which page?
You can see how on this scale, on the left-hand side right there, it has light to heavy, right? On the, for like green, yellow, and red.
Yes.
If your airplane has turbulence detection, it'll also have like a pink bar above that. It'll turn pink if it sees turbulence. Okay, so it'll have like, green, yellow, red, and then pink in the center where the turbulence is. Okay.
Okay.
Go just on the.
How do I know if I have that that service?
When you open up this page, the weather radar settings, at the bottom there'll be 2 more buttons available. One will say ground clutter suppression, and one will say turbulence detection.
Okay.
If you do have it.
If I hit the ground clutter suppression. It's not going to change anything in the radar.
Right.
The only thing is going to I'm gonna get is weather.
Right. It'll still show some ground clutter. It will, you know.
But it helps.
It helps a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.